Welcome back to Her Woman Evolves with today's guest, Shobha Rajpal. It's so wonderful to be talking with you today.
Same here.
So I want to switch gears. You've given us some wonderful nuggets today, and I want to switch gears to talk about the new AWE network. And thank you for
Yes.
being here. We really appreciate
Yes,
that.
a pleasure.
So you know that we have recently launched our network, and it's just so important for us to be having this particular series, Her
Yes.
Woman Evolves, and talking to women of all cultures and
Yes.
backgrounds. It's just I'm learning so much as I
Yes.
talk to
Yes.
each person, and even as I talk to people that I know, like you.
Yes.
Like I'm learning so much. Like
Yes.
I didn't know that you were in architecture
Yes.
before. I did
Yes.
not know that. So I think this is great. And as you know, this whole AWE network really stems from the A Woman Evolves production
Yes.
that I had that
Yes.
talks about merging passion, which for me
Yes.
is music, and
Yes.
dream, which for me was the practice of law,
Yes.
and even beyond, and not living in boxes,
Yes.
and leveraging all of that
Yes.
to bring all of your skill sets and passions to what you do. You thankfully attended our last production
Yes.
in 2019.
Yes. Yes.
At the Blumenthal in
Yes.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Oh
coming,
my goodness,
first of all.
it was so much fun.
What does the AWE, A Woman Evolves production, mean to you? I mean, you saw it
Yes.
in your own words.
I mean, for me, there's a sheer talent that are you. I mean, just to listen to you sing is such a amazing experience for me. I mean, of course, I met you as my client, and I'm not like, again, you build relationship organically. The more I got to know, and the more, I mean, I think, I am in awe of you. One.
Oh.
And I think the name could not have been better, that it kind of reads as AWE. And so for me, I think it's getting women together. I mean, it's celebrating it. It's like you said, it's, bringing all your strengths and your talents and using it for the best. I remember one of the first that you had done a book talk at Ballantine Resort, and you and Dr. Cotton were reading from the book that you wrote, and from there on you started this conversation with the guest, and you listened. I've known so many people who want to just talk, and there was something but there's something nice that you listened, and the conversation grew, and it hit the points that I loved it. I don't think we do that enough.
Yeah.
I think we have become such an individualist society that we don't know what our neighbors do. So that, to me, I feel like you celebrate it, and that to me is is what I take from there, and I take it from there to in my own life, where you have your friends, where you get to know more of them, not at what level you meet, but what's behind that. It helps me, in my work. I mean, I think that's.
Thank you for saying that. First of all, for the tremendous compliments, I really appreciate that. But something you said in there is so profound, and really it transcends gender.
Yes.
So I think about when you talk about having these conversations, right?
Yes.
So I think about what happened with the tragic death of George Floyd and
Yes.
so many others.
Yes.
And that started to open up the doors,
Yes.
even in corporate America,
Yes.
for folks to have
Yes.
courageous conversations
Yes.
about implicit bias.
Yes.
So, we're talking about A Woman Evolves, but it impacts us all.
Everybody.
Right, globally.
Yes.
So when you talk
Yes.
about these conversations that
Yes.
are so important,
Yes.
I think that it crosses gender.
It does,
Yeah.
and you realize that it's, when you talk to people from a different part of, say, Africa or Asia or
Yeah.
Europe, the issues are the same.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's like that's our connection.
Yes.
And of course, the conversation was a kind of precursor, as you said, what happened to Mr. Floyd, and what's happening in terms of the race and ethnicity and issues. The conversation we had at the Valentine Resort was a precursor to it, in a sense that parents feel that our young kids don't know what they went through, the biases, the the segregation. I mean, and that was in, like I said, every culture, maybe not in the same way at all. I mean, there's no comparison to it, but that spoke to me. Like that was that we don't have those grandparents who sit and talk about what it was. Like we think our youth don't listen to us, but they do. They may not participate in the conversation, but you need to have that conversations in the houses. Because we listen. I grew up listening to my father, my mother, and my grandparents talking about how they lived, what their thoughts were, how they struggled. It's like if you want your kids to listen, whisper, and they will, just make it kind of like something that they can't elusive, and they will get to it.
That's good though. That's really good, and you're right. The book that you're talking about is the 360 perspective, a mother-daughter journey. I've come there, it's been there. And that was such a profound discussion that we had at the Valentine. But let me not forget to say that I want to thank you also, because you allowed us to continue that discussion
we did.
at the boutique at St. John's. So thank you for that.
Oh, we had a pleasure.
A wonderful discussion with ladies talking about telling our stories to preserve our legacies, and about you making sure that we're reaching back for our youth. Because that's our future and all of that. So you actually have been quite involved in everything Her Woman Evolves and A Woman Evolves. So thank you for that.
Oh my God, no. I mean, it was such a wonderful turnout of our clients who wanted to listen to you and your own connections. I mean, St. John is wonderful, as a company that I work for, that it allows us as, both as image consultants, stylists, wardrobe specialists, or part of management, that we, again, relationship building, the relation, it's part of it, that it's like we get involved in what's close to our client's heart. And the book was such I read it and you wanted to share it. So no other, better reason to have it. So it was one of the highlights of my career. I don't think we've repeated it since then.
Oh.
So
we'll have to work on
that. We have to work on that. You have to write another book.
We'll have to do something. We're gonna do something. I do enjoy the partnership with St. John's, and I just want people to know that St. John's Boutique is not just a boutique. It consists of folks like Shobha, who are building relationships within our communities, and that's what we're doing. We're just trying to connect the dots across the world. And we're trying to have a global reach. As you know, we talked offline about AWE being virtual. The next time we're going to present. So very soon we will be doing this. So there is global reach. And we actually have a young gentleman from Pakistan who's going to be working with us on a component of the program.
Oh my God, wonderful.
So,
talented people, Pakistan.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Shobha, I know we could talk all day, but I just wanted to thank you so much for stopping in, and you've given us, like I said earlier, some wonderful nuggets. And that one that really resonates with me the most is the whole relationship building piece. That is so key to all of us across our industries, all of our leaders. We have to think about that relationship, because I will truly say that throughout my entire journey, the one thing I would say that has been the most profound is the relationships that I have built, that has allowed me to really accelerate my trajectory. And you guys gotta to visit me on www.corescotton.com, because we talk a lot about how relationships can help you accelerate not only your professional trajectory but also your personal trajectory. And so I don't know if you have a closing thought. You've given us so many things to think about.
I mean, my closing thought, if there is any, it's I think never underestimate the power of goodwill.
Ooh, that's
yes,
good.
I think that's part of relationship. Even when I have not been on the same page with my bosses or in a personal, you can end that on a high note. You can end it
That's
on a
right.
amicable way, and because you just never know where you can connect back. Never, like as I said, never burn bridges.
Yes.
And I do think like people just, just the kindness and the caring of and just the, I mean, I know it's cliche, love. I mean, it's so much easier to do than hating anyone.
No, it's not cliche at all. I don't think. I think it's that whole spirit of servant
Yes,
leadership that you have.
yes.
You are an amazing leader.
Oh,
And thank you for sharing your woman
Thank
evolves
you, thank
with
you,
us
thank
today. And
you,
I just
thank
think we have to do a cheers.
oh, we
as
totally
go
have to, which whatever is left.
onward.